Okay, so it's Thursday. Shall we have a quick reform roundup? Oh, sounds like a good plan. We'll leave Nigel alone at the moment because Nigel, as you're probably aware, is busy fighting a bin. Yes, he's fighting a bin in Clacton because he's trying to fight against the establishment, which apparently, according to a large amount of people, the bin is the establishment now. I seriously think we should have a conversation, maybe an intervention or two for Nigel, because I think Nigel's losing his mind. He's down there hugging babies, parents, people, everybody. Anyone that comes towards him, he's hugging them, he's giving them posters, he's giving them this, that and the other. I mean, literally, it is insane down in Clacton. He is going round the whole place, every single door, knocking on every single door so he can try and beat the bin. And the bin, by the way, has 35% of the vote, so, you know... You never know, Nigel. It may end up being a 48-52 situation by the end of this, and that would be absolutely hilarious. Anyway, as I say, we'll leave Nigel to go and fight the bin like he's doing at the moment, and we'll have a look at Richard, because Richard's not happy.
I wasn't there to defend myself either, right?
Okay, I can sense your fury.
Fury? I'm absolutely raging angry.
What Richard's upset about is the fact that he's been investigated by the House of Commons committee because of various business interests that he didn't bother letting us know about. Because if you declare things, then there's no issues. But if you don't declare them, they find out later on that you've got business interests that you should have declared, especially when you're talking about any particular subject that involves that business or that country or anything to do with them. You really need to tell people. But he's also upset at the BBC. And he's upset at the BBC because the BBC sent a film crew to his constituency and had a conversation with his constituents. Now, I don't mean to be funny, but his constituents paid their licence fee. They paid their licence fee to the BBC. So technically the BBC going to have a conversation with them. He's going to have a conversation with the viewers. But he got very upset because he was not happy about the fact that he wasn't there to answer any questions. He wasn't there to defend himself. He wasn't there to let them know that they're talking nonsense. And, well, he took to Twitter to really have a go at the BBC. And this is what he said. BBC hate reform and me so much they sent camera crew today to my constituency post absurd investigation news yesterday. I'm not sure who wrote that. I don't think he wrote that. That may be AI because it doesn't make sense, the actual sentence. There are no commas. There's no sentence. I mean, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, he's upset. And he's really annoyed because they went and had a conversation with his constituents. I'm not sure you can get annoyed about that. The BBC are allowed to go wherever they want. We pay the licence fee. They work for us. So they're going to go and ask questions about something. They're doing it for a reason. Anyway, he says they looked for voters who have turned against me and couldn't find any. That's not true, is it now? It's not true, Richard, is it? They found plenty of people turn and said, who is he? Who? Richard who? Richard who? Oh, Dubai Dickie, you mean? Oh, yes, he lives in Dubai, doesn't he? He's actually MP around here, is he? And that was the most of the questions he got. It was unbelievable. And he got annoyed about that. But it's okay, because why should we pay licence fee for the bias and hate? Yes, thanks for that. AI really shouldn't write your tweets. You really should take a moment just to write them yourself, because otherwise it ends up looking like this. Anyway, Richard Tice is very unhappy about the BBC and all sorts of other stuff, so we'll leave him there and we'll move on. We'll move on to Lee. Because Lee went to Calais. Yes, he went to Calais and he had a wander round there and he had a conversation with ITV, GMB I think it's called, the ITV news programme in the morning, and he was having a conversation with them and they started talking about the issues and the problems with the naval plan they have. This is, Operation Fortress, I think they're calling it. Yes. And this lady, and Richard Madeley, the shoplifter, asked Zai Useless large amounts of questions and he didn't really answer the questions, and then Lee came on and said, well, why didn't you listen to Zai Useless, the unelectable? And they kind of said, we did listen to Zai Useless, the unelectable, and he didn't really tell us the answers, which is why we're asking you. And Lee was like, well, you're silly, you're stupid, you need to listen more. Oh my God, read it. And they did and found out that there's large amounts of holes in it. But other than that, Lee spent a couple of days in France wandering around with some migrants. He had a fantastic time, apparently, had himself a crepe and various other bits and pieces. Nice to see you over in France, Lee. Anyway, from Lee, we'll jump to Wales. Because in Wales, there appears to be a problem with all of them over there. All of the people in Reform seem to be in a far-right social media group. together. I'm not sure what's going on there. This is currently being investigated, but I mean, it's a bit weird, don't you think? All of them in a racist, well, in a far right social media group. I mean, wow, bit odd, isn't it? Anyway, I'll wrap it up now just by letting you know that obviously Rupert Lowe at the weekend offered them an olive branch to sit down and have a conversation and maybe start a party together. And well, Nadine Dorries took that as a starting gun to have a conversation with the Tories. Yes, Nadine Dorries says that Kemi needs to reach out to Farage so they can have an accommodation. Not entirely sure what that means, but this is what Nadine's put up there. So, Reform, your numbers are still down. Labour are still in front. But I'm sure that will turn round just as soon as Nigel beats the bin. Bye.